Hi guys and welcome back to the channel, and welcome back to what is a long time coming video for this channel. Almost a year later, 9 months after I recorded the opening video, I am finally here to check out the Mob Psycho 100 endings. It was very much highly requested by you guys in the comment section for that video, asking if I could check out these endings. And even if you go back and look at those comments, I was saying stuff like, oh yeah, no, of course I'll check those out and stuff like that. But sadly, other things came up and I got distracted and sidetracked with doing all this other stuff that I never actually checked these endings out. Recently, I say recently, it's been a little bit now at this point, I did go back and check out the Dr. Stone endings, which was another one that was requested highly way back when I released that video. And I do want to do this, and also maybe eventually then next would be the Fire Force endings, which is another series I said I would do endings for way back when. So I'm just now kind of trying to take the time to go back and do things that I never did that I said I would. So here I am checking out the Mob Psycho 100 endings. The openings were incredible. They were a visual treat. They were sonically incredible. Like, I loved the music, I loved the songs, I loved the singers. Everything about the openings was incredible, and I hope that we get to see some more creativity within these endings, because the openings were so batshit insane and so cool to watch. Like, I honestly can barely even remember anything from those openings because there's so much going on. It's, yeah, what a treat those were, and I'm excited to check out the endings here today. I wonder what we're going to get. And yeah, I'm not going to yap much longer, but if you guys do enjoy, please leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already, and comment down below letting me know anything else you'd like to see me check out for openings and or endings for in the future. And of course, I'll do my best to get to those. I cannot promise anything. I'm gonna stop making all these promises that I made way back at the inception of this reaction content channel, because yeah, I'm learning that I can't fulfill all of those promises. So I'll do my best is all I can really give you. But yeah, we're gonna check this one out. Yeah, Mob Psycho 100 endings. Let's go. Oh shit, okay. Is this sand art? Oh, this looks so cool. Wow. I was just saying, I hope we get some creativity within these endings, and yeah, already, this is incredible. They're animating using sand? Holy shit. That is insane. What? Is there anything these people can't do? I need to check out Mob Psycho 100 one day. This is... Let me turn this up, actually. This is so good. Wow, I can't believe they're fully animating using sand. That is incredible. The train and everything. And it all even looks like it still has that style I would call the mob style. That I know of anyway. And there it is. In color now too. Wow, this is a really sweet ending, sorry. Yeah, this was a masterpiece in creativity. I loved the look of this ending so much. The fact that we got introduced immediately with, the instruments really just ramping up and just kicking things off immediately. Like, we didn't get a slow burner introduction or anything. It just kind of jumped straight in. I loved it. I was ready for that. I wasn't ready for that energy, let me add, actually. But the energy just picking me up kept me at that level the entire time, and I feel like I'm going to need that energy going into these next endings. So I'm glad that this one was able to kick things off and kick things up at such a high level and ramp me up and pick up the intensity, because that's exactly what I needed. I think that it's probably very fitting for this series. I don't really know much about it, but I know that it's very much known for its animation, and it's very much known for, I guess, fights and everything like that. Though in saying that, I don't really know how they fight. I don't know who fights or anything like that. I like I said, I know next to nothing about the series apart from what I saw in the openings. I know the main character. I don't even know if his name is Mob, but I think it is. I'm pretty sure the blonde guy who we see sleeping in bed here is called like Regin or something like that, and that's because I recall the I can't even remember, but it was like some poll things that were happening a handful of years ago where Regin was competing against Sans Undertale and shit like that. Like that's I think the only reason I know who this guy is. Other than that, I don't know who this is. I'm pretty sure they use some sort of psychic powers or something like that. So yeah, what a cool ending this was. The fact that it's very clearly made using sand, I think is badass. I loved that immediately. And it, of course, like if you've checked out any of the other content on my channel, I checked out the Dr. Stone endings recently, and I did mention that at the beginning of the intro for this video. And I think it's ending number 5, I could be wrong there, that also used sand like this to tell the story. But within that ending, granted, it was one of my favorite endings that I've checked out in a very long time, but within that ending, it's a lot of still images using sand, and then there are moments where things are animated, I guess. But this one going full balls to the wall with animation using sand, that is insanity. Whoever they hired to do this is an absolute madman, and they are so talented. And yeah, I don't know. This is crazy. I did not expect to see a full animated ending or opening, whatever it happens to be, just anything in general, using sand. That just seems so impossible to me. Like, I know that you could compare it to like something like stop motion, I guess, but sand? That's something I would never have thought of. And the fact that you have to like use shading within sand and everything, and it's not just like sculpting something and then moving it. Like, you literally need to shade everything. You need to build a background. You need to, I don't know. I can't compliment this ending enough. This ending was an absolute masterpiece. Like, I don't know what else I can say here. The song was so cool. I mean this in the best way possible, but the energy and the sound of the song very much reminded me of a Haikyuu opening. I couldn't tell you which one, like maybe Fly High or something. I wonder if this was Burnout Syndrome's. I'd be interested in finding that out. This had like that same kind of energy and cadence to like the chorus and stuff within this song, and that's a huge compliment to this ending, because you know the Haikyuu openings and endings are also amazing, and the fact that this one was able to remind me of that, wow. But yeah, this was I don't know what more I can say. I feel like it's not really telling me too much here. It's kind of like telling a story of an everyday man just going through his everyday life. That's kind of what I was able to think of here. Like, it looks like he's just waking up, washing his face, doing like all these normal things, and then going out into the real world. Like, it just looks like a normal guy doing normal things. Like, I don't know if that's important here because of the fact that within the series itself, it might be a bunch of like all this crazy shit happening, all these flashy images. That's speaking from someone who hasn't seen the series, so I'm just guessing. So maybe seeing an ending like this to remind us of simple times, normal times, maybe that's the whole point of this. Also, the part where they literally animate using sand again. I think it's sand anyway. Like, I could be completely wrong here. Maybe this isn't even sand. So like, if I have been wrong this entire time, it still looks impressive. It still looks incredible. But you know, you'll just have to correct me. But he's literally shaving. He's how do they come up with this shit? How do they do this shit? Like, bonkers. And then having him smoke, like, they're doing all this stuff that is not easy. Like, they could have just had him walking down a street or something, like in a straight line. Like, I'm thinking My Hero Academia ending 1, right, where it's for the most part just Deku running. They could have done something so similar here if they're going to do such a unique art style. They didn't have to go this hard with it, but I'm so glad they did, because now I'm able to think about this all the time. I'm able to, like, anytime I see a future ending, you know, I'm probably going to be like, damn, that looked great, but like, remember when Mob Psycho did the full animated sand? animation sequence. Like, I don't know, I feel like this is going to be a really hard ending to top for these next two that are coming. The fact that they're able to get so much detail as well, like I'm looking right now at the sequence where I'm pretty sure this is Regin, right? He's putting on his shoes. The detail in these shoes is bonkers. I don't know how they do it. And then a full-on like first-person view as he's walking out of his apartment. Sorry, I think I hit the microphone, but he's walking out of his appointment. What am I, like, New Jersey? He's walking out of his apartment and he's heading wherever he heads. But like, it's so impressive that they also get the scenery. They get the locations looking as great as they do. When it's showing like grass and stuff, you can see the texture in the grass. Amazing stuff here. Like, I don't know what else to say. And then of course the ending ends with Little Mob coming into color, and it's almost like it's telling us that before this moment, Regin's life was, you know, very grey, out of color, and just not very full of life and energy and color. But once he meets this little guy, everything comes full color, everything looks bright, everything looks full, like you can see everything clearly, and everything looks better. Like it's just kind of telling us that story where nothing is normal anymore, nothing is boring anymore. Now we're getting a life full of nature, beauty, and a blossoming friendship perhaps. So yeah, that's kind of like what this tells you right at the end with the color coming into view. I think it's really well done. I think that there isn't a single thing I would have changed about this ending. Definitely going to be a very hard one to top, definitely going to be an ending I think about for quite a while here. So yeah, that was Mob Psycho 100, ending number 1. Let's see what we get in ending number 2. Coming right up, here we go. Oh, we get a new art style, it's so cool. Oh, it looks so good. Love the sound. This little guy floating above his head. Like, they have a very unique style in this ending, yet it still looks very mob. It still looks very one. What is happening there? Little baby mob. Oh, who's that guy? Just watching as the world goes by. He looks so dopey. Oh, everyone is here. Regin is here too. It's a very cute ending, and I think it's doing a great story at telling us the relationships that he builds, I guess, within the series, and how he makes all these friends. Oh, the little sunflower. What does that mean? I don't know what the sunflower represents. Does it represent like a lost, deceased family member or something, someone that was important to him? If I was to guess, we do see a scene where, you know, he's sitting down to dinner with his family, I think, and then there's this guy with like the spiky hair, and we see him playing with that guy like outside, and my guess is that that's maybe his brother, and that maybe he sadly passes at some point, and that's what the flower represents to him. Him celebrating his deceased brother or something like that. But I'm not too sure about that because we do see him standing right next to someone who looks very much like that later on in the ending. So, you know, that could just be bullshit. But I feel like this sunflower has to be representative of someone that he maybe lost, or something that he lost, or just a hopeful future. Sunflowers, I guess they represent growth because they grow so tall, but the fact that it's been cut, maybe a stunted growth, maybe it's to do with the loss of his childhood or something like that. I don't know. I don't know what this guy has experienced in his life. I don't know what this sunflower represents to him, but it's obviously very important, and I'd love to actually come to learn what this means by checking out the series. The art style within this one was very cool looking. It looked like not exactly, but almost like sponge painting. Well, actually, it does quite look like sponge painting. It's very much reminding me of like old children's illustration books, you know, which you and I were probably read to us as children. We, you know, you might read it to your own child if if you've got any of your own. It's kind of reminding me of like art style like that, and like the sort of artwork they would do within a school setting or within a nursery, daycare, whatever it is, and then bring it home and it would be put on the wall or on the fridge or something like that. I think it's really interesting that we do get to see Mob a lot within this ending compared to the first one. The first ending really didn't show him that much, and once it showed him, the world came into color, and within this ending the world is full of color. So I don't know if it's kind of like a continuation in that sense, where we're following him along, we're following this really colorful world that he is a part of. Maybe he is the one who brings all of this color and light and beauty to all of these people's worlds and lives. Maybe he's just such a special character that brings all this light and life to everyone. And yeah, this ending spends a lot of time showing the relationships he has with others, the bonds he's created, and the friendships he's made. And I wonder if he's the sort of character who maybe at the beginning of the series doesn't have a lot of friends, and as we continue and go through the series, we start to see that he has made a lot of friends by the time we finish the series. And if that's a really important factor within the series, the fact that he can make friends and that he has made friends, and that is helping him go through whatever it is that he's going through. Like if it's anything like that, maybe this series is nothing like that whatsoever. I don't actually know. And yeah, we do see Mob like staring very dopey looking a lot of this, and I wonder if he just kind of likes to watch the world go by. He doesn't really get involved unless he has to, and that's maybe a part of his character growth, where he used to just stand by and watch as everything happened, but now he's involved. Now he has made these bonds and friendships, and he is involved, and he is a part of what is happening. I don't know if I'm reaching here, but he does seem to be very good at maths, because within this ending we do see him doing some very difficult looking maths, and we see like a part where there's all these like mathematical like apparatus flying past his head and stuff. Singer's voice was beautiful here. It was a really cool ending. I don't really know if I have much more to say about this one. This one was just a really cool one to check out. I'm glad we were able to. But yeah, I feel like I might be ready to move on to the next one. I could be completely wrong here, but there wasn't as much to like analyze within this that tells me anything. And the art style within this, like I feel like I have seen this somewhere else before, but I'm not quite able to place it. But yeah, regardless, really cool ending, beautiful ending, very creative and very stunning looking. And yeah, it just makes me all the more excited to see what we get in ending number 3. Oh shit, we're back to the sun. Let's go. Oh my god, I could almost mistake that for rotoscoping. Looks so good. Holy shit, they stepped up their game even more with this one. This animation looks better than some series I've seen. Holy, this looks incredible. The lights going past his cars go past too, like holy shit. Wow. It's a little melancholic looking, the way he's kind of just walking around. Like, he does look very sad. A bottle cap. Oh shit, the spiral, Uzumaki. Where are we going to? Oh, wow, look at that. Holy shit. And things have come into full color now towards the end. All he had to do was grab it. Holy shit. That is crazy. That is absolutely bonkers. I probably should have done this and centered the webcam every time I finished checking out one of these endings. Apologies. But I didn't think to do so. But holy shit, that was amazing. I have so much praise. I have so much adoration and love for what they were able to do in these endings. Mob Psycho 100 is definitely a series I have been wanting to watch for a while. It's a series that I am maybe considering checking out at some point. And, you know, I have been reading... I caught up a couple months ago with One Punch Man. I've been following Bug Ego as it is being released. Sadly, it hasn't had a new chapter in months, and you know, it's upsetting because I am enjoying that series. I think it is really creative and like it's a cool idea, and I'm excited to see where things go. But Mob Psycho 100 is a series I've heard nothing but absolute praise for. I don't know really anything about it, like I've been explaining throughout this, and going off of what I've seen in these endings, it's been too long to remember anything from the openings. Like I'm sorry, but it's been too long. I can't remember any theories I might have had within those openings or anything like that. I can't call back on it. But these endings, if this is the quality of the endings, I can't imagine the quality of the series itself. I know that it's Studio Bones, and I know that Studio Bones is on another level a lot of times, and that I've only heard like Studio Bones has done great things with this series, but that is just exemplified by the quality of these endings. Even if they contracted these endings to someone else, you know, especially with the sand stuff. Like, I don't know if they did this in-house, if someone in-house was really talented with sand art. But regardless, this is an absolutely mind-blowing experience to have been able to check this out. Like, this is no, like, disrespect or shade towards ending 2 whatsoever, but I think endings 1 and 3 are just so unique to me that it's hard to think of anything else in animation that has done anything like this. The fact that they went full animation within sand art is just, that's crazy. That is insane work. And I think that they took ending 1 and raised the bar with ending 3. The fact that everything moved so fluidly, like, holy shit, I don't know how they did it here. The movement, the animation was so fluid, so seamless. And honestly, when he was getting out of the bed at the beginning and as he was walking, everything like that, it almost looked like rotoscoping. Like, it really did. It just looked like they were using an actual human to do that. But no, this was sand art. Someone did this by hand, or a team of people did this by hand. And the fact that they were able to do this and use it as the anime ending here, that is huge credit. I have so much praise. I have so much respect for whoever did this, the team that did this. This was amazing. The song was so great at kind of matching those feelings, because the animation and the look of the visuals within this ending were a little melancholic. They were a little sad, and the song itself kind of had like a downbeat. Like, it didn't really raise the beat too high. It didn't take things too high anyway. Like, there are drums, there's guitar, and the singing is a little energetic, but things don't kick off to too high of a level. Like, I don't know how to put what I mean into words properly, but I think they did a great job here at matching visuals and song. And you know, things do eventually get to a point where we start to follow the spiral, and things get more energetic, things get higher, like hype and everything like that, and that's when things start to kick up a level. And I think that it matched this perfectly. It matched that moment, and it did a great job at telling me how to feel and telling me how maybe Mob is feeling. He's maybe feels like he's spiraling, he maybe feels like he's hitting a new rock bottom, but even during all that, all he needs to do is reach out and grab and seize the moment. That's kind of what I'm getting from when he reaches out like this, and all that terrible stuff goes away, and he's just standing there staring at his hand, almost like the potential that he holds within his hand for his life, for his future, for anything like that. And he just needs to seize it. He needs to grab it, and he needs to run away with it. Like, he needs to do what he can with it. And that kind of brings in a moment where everything comes into color. We see his skin turn to like skin pigmentation color, his colors turn red, the sky turns blue, and he's no longer living in this world full of doubt, a world full of sadness and feeling like he doesn't know what to do. He's no longer walking towards nothing. He is now running towards the light. He's running towards his future and what is to come. And it's a great story, a very simple story told within this ending, but a very effective one, and one that I think is immaculately well done here. And honestly, like, I could sit here and glaze this ending for like another 5 minutes, but yeah, I feel like there's not much more I could add to this other than this was beautiful, it was unique, it was incredible, probably one of the most unique and best looking endings I've ever seen. Like, I don't know if I can name anything else to potentially top this. This was very special. One of the best endings I may have ever seen of all time. Like, I'm just gonna put it out there. One of the best sets of endings, full stop, that I've ever seen, and that's coming from like someone who's been very grateful and very thankful to be able to check out a bunch of amazing endings on this channel. But yeah, Mob Psycho 100, you're a very special series. I can see that so clearly, and yeah, who knows, maybe we'll check you out one day. And that's probably going to do it for me for today. Feel free to ask me questions about certain things within these openings, sorry, not openings, endings, and I will do my best to reply to you. I hope that you don't spoil anything for me because, like I've said, this is a series I do want to check out one day. But yeah, that's going to do it for me for today. I hope that you guys enjoyed, and if you did, please leave a like and subscribe and comment down below letting me know your favorite ending within this set of endings and any other openings endings you would like to see me check out. And I hope that I will see you in the next one and that you're able to have a great day today. Take care.